Hi folks, I'm Bill for Bill's Bonsai. Nice to meet you. A couple of days ago I recorded a video with my oak. An oak that was in a pot that had tons of grass growing in it. It was really badly needing a repot. In that video I also discussed the thickness of the trunk versus how high the final plant should be. You know, sort of the ratio of a bonsai to the trunk thickness. I thought that was an interesting subject, and I thought I'd maybe try that with my oak. So I discussed that. So what I'm going to do is play little snippets of the video that I recorded a couple of days ago over this. But what happened during that video was it ran on for a bit too long and my camera conked out. It didn't conk out, it just, well, when I say my camera I mean my phone. And when it conked out, it didn't actually conk out. It's just like after an hour I just stopped recording, and I didn't know, so I was carried on. I'd only got about 2/3 of the way through doing everything when I actually conked out. So what I'm going to do is just show you snippets of what I was doing over this video. Long story short, the repot was an absolute nightmare. The pot was absolutely loaded with grass. The roots were really tough to rake and get the grass off because it was going right through the pot. And once I got to the heart of it, I had to wash it in I washed the roots. And once I got to the heart of the roots right underneath, it was just so muddy. It was just like anaerobic mud. There was no oxygen there, and the roots were suffering and the tree was suffering, and they really did need that repot. The repot didn't get recorded, unfortunately, but I can just show you the end result in a minute. And one of the things I wanted to do during the repot was to trim the leggy branches in and just sort of bring it tighter to some buds that were quite near the trunk, shorten the branches and stuff. But once I'd done that, I decided that it needed a further prune, so I gave it a little trunk chop. Not easy to say with these teeth. I gave it a little trunk chop, and even now I want to give it an eye chop even more, just for proportionality of the thickness of the trunk based on how high I see the tree. You know, when you look at trees in nature, especially an oak, it doesn't have a big long trunk and then like a broom style way at the top. The branches are fairly lower down. You know, it has to try and be proportion to like a real tree. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my camera around and I'll show you what the end result is at the moment. Right, so that was the pot that I wanted to put it in, and it's quite an ugly beige plastic little pot, but it's got all the holes all the way through it, which hopefully will help it. You've got a branch there, and that was at one point when I was actually thinking of chopping the trunk there, right there at that point. And coming out a wee bit, you can see where I've actually chopped another trunk chop, but I didn't want to, that wasn't where I trimmed it to originally. That wasn't until after I videoed the pruning and stuff. I went back and decided it needed further, and I gave it a chop. But to be honest with you, that is the overall height of what I want this tree to be. I'd actually like the trunk to stop round about there at this point, and so if I get budding and all that there, I could take this away and hopefully develop a tree with a total height of that. And but that's what I ended up doing with it. I kept some leaves on it because I just wanted it to try and survive the drastic work that I'd done to it. I don't think I can do any more this season, but I'm just going to leave it as it is. So that's what I did to my tree. And it took me about an hour and a half to almost 2 hours actually to do all that work. It looks okay, it's fine now, and hopefully it'll survive and just flourish. Oaks are tricky. When you look online, it says that oaks do best maybe midsummer when they're full leaf, when you do work to them like that. But I'm just going to take a risk and see what happens. So I did take the risk and see and hope to see what happens. So that's it for this video. So the oak that was pretty suffering badly in that pot, got out the pot into some nice soil again, got a bit of a haircut, unlike myself which needs a haircut, and let's hope it picks up and survives what I've done to it. It's the only oak that I have actually, so I think I'll try and get some seedlings for somewhere, because I do like oak. I'd love to have like a few in my collection. But anyway, that's me, Bill for Bill's Bonsai, and I hope you enjoyed this video. And it was nice seeing you. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.